Hey, real quick, if you're making good money, but somehow still feel like you're barely getting by, you're not bad with money. The system is just working exactly as designed. And I know that sounds like an excuse, but stick with me. Because what's actually happening to the American middle class right now is something nobody is talking about honestly. You get a raise. You feel good for maybe 2 weeks. Then rent goes up, groceries go up, insurance goes up, and you're right back where you started, just with a bigger number on your paycheck that somehow buys less than it did 3 years ago. That feeling has a name. Economists call it silent financial erosion. And it's happening to millions of people who are doing everything right. So today, let's break down exactly why Americans feel broke. Even the ones with good jobs, even the ones who save, even the ones who followed every single rule they were told to follow. Let's start with the number that changed everything. In 2020 and 2021, the United States government injected roughly $6 trillion into the economy. $6 trillion. That money had to go somewhere, and it did, straight into the price of everything you buy. Inflation hit a 40-year high, and while it has technically come down since then, here's what nobody tells you. Prices don't come back down when inflation slows. They stay high. They just stop rising as fast. So that 30% increase in grocery bills you felt between 2020 and 2023, that's permanent. Your salary didn't go up 30%, but your eggs did. Your rent did. Your car insurance did. You are not imagining it. You are genuinely poorer than you were, even if your income looks better on paper. But inflation is only part of the story, because there's something much bigger quietly destroying the American middle class. It's called lifestyle inflation, and the economy is specifically engineered to trigger it. Here's how it works. You get a better job. You move to a better apartment. You buy a slightly better car. You eat out a little more. You upgrade your phone. You subscribe to a few more services. None of these decisions feel reckless. Each one feels reasonable. Each one feels earned. But suddenly, you need every dollar you make. There's no slack, no buffer. One unexpected expense and you're stressed. And this isn't a personal failure. This is by design. Every major industry, housing, automotive, healthcare, food, has quietly shifted from selling you things to locking you into monthly payments. You don't own your software. You subscribe. You don't own your car outright. You finance. You don't save for healthcare. You pray your insurance covers it. You've been converted from a saver into a subscriber. And subscribers are never truly free. Now here's the one that really hurts. The one people don't want to talk about. The cost of the life your parents had, the house, the car, the vacation, the retirement, has gone up between 200% and 400% since 1980. But wages, adjusted for inflation, the average American worker earns roughly the same as they did in 1978. Let that sink in. Your parents could buy a house on one income, send kids to college without debt, retire at 65 with savings. You need 2 incomes, carry student loan debt into your 40s, and the concept of retirement feels more like a fantasy than a plan. This isn't because your generation is lazier. It isn't because you spend too much on coffee. It's because the math fundamentally changed, and nobody updated the rule book. Let's talk about housing, because this one deserves its own moment. In 1980, the average American home cost about 3 times the average annual salary. Today, it's closer to 7 or 8 times. Mortgage rates have climbed to levels not seen in decades. A home that would have cost you $1,400 a month in 2020 now costs $2,800 a month for the exact same house. So you rent instead. Except rent has also hit record highs in almost every major city. The average American now spends 30 to 50% of their take-home pay just on housing. That's not a budget problem. That's a structural crisis. And it compounds everything else. Because when half your paycheck disappears on day one, what's left for savings, for emergencies, for anything that actually builds wealth? And then there's the invisible tax that almost nobody tracks. Subscription creep. Netflix, Spotify, Amazon Prime, iCloud, gym membership, meal kits, parking apps, news sites, software, streaming bundles, insurance add-ons. The average American household spends over $200 a month on subscriptions. Most people guess they spend around $80. That gap between what you think you're spending and what you're actually spending is exactly where the money disappears. Each subscription is designed to feel trivial. $9.99 here, $14.99 there. But the model relies entirely on you forgetting they exist while they quietly drain your account every single month. You're not broke because you're irresponsible. You're broke because 40 different companies have figured out how to take $5 from you in a way that never feels like much. So what do you actually do about it? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Most financial advice you'll find online was written for a different economy. Save 20%, max your 401k, cut the lattes. That advice isn't wrong, but it was designed for a world where a single income could cover a mortgage, health care, and a family. That world no longer exists. What actually works today is different. You have to stop competing with a lifestyle that was designed to keep you spending. You have to treat your income like a business, where every dollar has a job before it enters your account. And most importantly, you have to build income streams that aren't tied to your time, because trading hours for dollars in this economy is a losing game. The people who are breaking out of this cycle aren't doing it by saving harder. They're doing it by thinking differently about money entirely. So let's come back to where we started. You're making good money, you're doing everything right, and you still feel like you're one bad month away from real trouble. That feeling is not weakness. That feeling is accurate information. The economy you were promised, where hard work equals security, has fundamentally changed. And the people who feel it most are the ones in the middle. Too much income to qualify for help. Not enough wealth to feel safe. The broke feeling isn't in your head. But here's what I need you to understand before you close this video. The people who figure this out, the ones who actually escape this cycle, they don't do it by working harder. They do it by seeing the game clearly, and then refusing to play by rules that were never written in their favor. You now see it clearly. That's not a small thing. Most people will watch their paycheck shrink every year and never understand why. You do, and that changes everything. So here's what I want you to do right now. Not tomorrow, right now. Look at your last 3 months of spending. Not to feel guilty, just to see where the money actually went. Because you cannot fix what you cannot see. And if this video made something click for you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Your friend who's stressed about bills. Your sibling who can't figure out why their salary never feels like enough. Send it to them. Because the more people who understand this, the harder it becomes to keep them broke. Stay informed, stay ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.